So I was just thinking, where are my white folks with black friends at? You know, it's cool to have black friends. I mean, I certainly grew up with many of them and still have them to this day. And we often like to use that as like our calling card. We can reach into our pocket and claim that we're not racist because we got our black friends. But I want to know, like, given the history of struggle for equality, equity, given the history of violence towards black folks, given the history of all of the challenges and obstacles that have been put into place and the history of avoiding healing the harm of our past, given that we've had opportunity after opportunity to create a mechanism for repair, an executive order to push for our presidents to do so, for our local politicians to create a balance, where we've constantly taken our resources and through a process called white flight, we've run away from where black folks show up and then get upset when they come to our neighborhoods because they bring down our property value, which we're creating that system that analyzes the property value as being different for someone black. But we got these black friends. And then when we move into their neighborhoods, which we've devalued in a process called gentrification, we take over. We don't support, we don't share our love and resources. So as I look at it, as all of us have these black friends that we consistently claim and use as our get out of being called a racist, how are we showing up, right? How are we being friends to them? That's the question I want us all to ponder. If 13% of our nation is sharing 0.5% of the wealth, and maybe that's increasing because our ball players are having an opportunity to create generational wealth. But how are we showing up to them? Do we know what they really feel about us? Do we know what they feel about our racist history as Americans? Do they know what we feel? I mean, do we know what they feel about the lack of repair over time and how we've constantly made decisions that, even as recently as all of these farming issues that have taken place from when Trump did his deal with China and it caused harm for all the farmers and they made $10 billion worth of reparations for the farmers. Black farmers were excluded because the representation of white folks making the decisions naturally excludes them. And when someone like Biden comes in and makes an effort to make that change, white folks go and say, nope, that's racist if you're saying that you're going to do this specifically for black folks. But we specifically have caused harm, specifically and intentionally have caused harm throughout. And we don't repair that harm. And there's something about saying that we have black friends that makes it really white, because our vision has been, what can you do for me? Look at how you fit in. You're not one of them. You don't speak the way they do. You're intelligent. You're this. We offer so many things that we think are compliments that are really judgments about a culture that's we've constantly benefited from them being a part of our lives. And so I just wonder, like, how are we as friends to them? And doesn't that make you a little bit angry that our friends have families that are suffering? Maybe our friends aren't suffering, because I don't know that we choose friends that are in the inner cities and impoverished right now. But our friends struggle when they come out of the house dealing with a white society that we refuse to acknowledge the need to repair the harms of our past. Think about that for a moment. How are we being friends? And if that issue of racism that we have refused to heal doesn't make you angry, then I have to ask again, where are my angry white folks at? Thank you.